Hello, hi, welcome, and thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a beautiful day, a beautiful night. We're gonna do a timeless collective reading, get a little clarity and insight on the energy coming through. It's timeless and it's collective, so see what resonates and just leave what doesn't. And remember that divine inner guidance is in you, and try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition so your decisions are sound and based in love and for the highest, greatest good of everyone. So we're all uplifted in love. Let's dive in. Let's see what comes through. This is the Crystal Angels Oracle. We're going to start with a message here. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels and energies of love for the highest, greatest good of all. Clarity, an opening message that would be helpful today. Please and thank you. Oh, you have a watermelon tourmaline coming through. So maybe, ooh, we got a little music. I'm gonna turn it down a little. Make it soft and ambient in here. So it does look like you are maybe someone around you, but there's a stressful situation. It could be you putting a lot of pressure on yourself. It could be that you just have a lot of responsibilities, a very busy schedule, and this is coming in so you plug yourself back in. I mean, the watermelon tourmaline, it has a lot of colors. So each color has a certain vibration, a certain frequency. So I feel like this is connecting all of your chakras back in. It's maybe carrying watermelon tourmaline. I also just thought of Super 7. So I feel like that comes from a mine in Brazil. It's a very special quartz. I'll show you what it looks like. It's kind of like this. I actually have a really nice stone. There's just a lot going on in it. So it has like, you know, it has amethyst and citrine and everything going on in one stone. So I do feel like you need a mixture of something together to align yourself. But I feel like some of you are just able to give part. You know, I see like you wanting to do something, you wanting to help someone, you wanting to give it your all, but you only got like this much on your battery. So watermelon tourmaline is stress reduction. Also, pay attention to stressful environments, stressful relationships, stressful thought patterns, whatever it is, and you feel like you're always depleted, always a little overwhelmed. Adjust your schedule accordingly so that you are at least putting yourself in more situations where maybe you're doing something solo, something kind of relaxing for yourself, and or around the people that you at least vibrate with, you feel a little more plugged in around. Stress reduction is de-stress your, I also see mind clutter. I see clutter in general. So maybe you got the brain files kind of all over the place. I see meditation as really helpful. And if some of you are kind of itchy, you know, you're kind of a mover and a shaker, and you always have to be doing something, then maybe it's active meditation, knit, you know, draw, go on a walk, do something where you're kind of being productive, but you're also putting your brain into a more gentle frequency. I also feel like you're going to have a solution that comes through if you just relax a little bit. Also, if some of you do have clutter, maybe you just don't even have a day to do your dishes, you know, catch up on your laundry, organize something that you've been thinking about, and having a mess around you or something you're constantly thinking about that's kind of there in the back corner. You know you'll get to it when you have that time off. Maybe it's even a day off where maybe you're not necessarily relaxing. You are being productive, but it's going to produce big results when you can relax better later because you got all that extra stuff done. You know, so just if you have to do the laundry, take your time. Maybe it's meditation while you do the laundry. Fold your clothes, put some, you know, relaxing Zen music on. I didn't even finish this. It says, de-stress your mind, body, and schedule. So for some of you, you got a stressful schedule. What can you adjust? Or, you know, Maybe you need to hire a babysitter or ask for a day off. Ask somebody to cover. You know, take an extra day here and there because you need to rest, recharge, and revive. You can't give from an empty plate. And I do feel like some of you do want to give, but you don't got all the energy going on there to give as much as you would like. So take care of yourself here. I also see that you are tapping into some high vibrational energy above you, getting some spiritual downloads. And I do see your chakras being realigned. So maybe even some of you find a lot of stress reduction with a massage, some Reiki, even just like maybe getting your nails done, doing something with your hair. I do see a project though, so maybe there's a project you want to work on, but it's sort of relaxing to you. So let's see, let's go to the mystery deck and let's just get a couple of extra messages that would be helpful for you today. What are some mystery messages that would be beneficial? I also see a lot of healing energy here. Stressed. Let's see. I don't know why I just heard that song, Trapt. I think it's called Headstrong. Back off, I'll take you on. I'll take you on, anyone. I know this is wrong and this is not where I belong. Maybe it's about an environment, or feeling trapped. Not sure where that song came through, so let's get a message or two. Why aren't you there? Well, if you feel trapped, why aren't you somewhere else? If there's somewhere you feel, you know, plugged in, recharged, and you are questioning why you're not there, maybe you're stressing yourself out over making a decision, over analyzing something to the point where you're not making any moves. I don't know where this is that you were thinking about being, but if you're not there, what can you change to get you there? How can you take one step in a different direction? I feel like even if you are looking at something that got blocked, you have to refocus on not thinking about the block, but think about the solution, how you can redirect, how you can see something from a different perspective. You know, I see that spiral staircase so that you can maybe see a different perspective of that situation you weren't noticing before. I feel like here you're only looking at something in one direction or another direction, and there's a lot of in between you're missing. So let's see, what else would be helpful? Wow, this is a really big message. I don't know if this is how somebody feels about you, or this is something you're stressing about. It says, I never got to feel love this true before. For some of you, you know exactly who this is about and what this is saying. And I do feel like for some of you, this doesn't make any sense, but it will. Because I do feel like you have a gorgeous, pure, beautiful heart. But maybe you will, or already connected to somebody that never really felt something that was overall that big and that true. I never got to feel love this true before. That's unconditional. That's really, really beautiful. That shouldn't be a stressful situation. That should feel like a gift. So let's continue. What else? Well, maybe you're gonna get a love call. I mean, somebody's feeling love that true and that real, and something they've never felt at all before, ever in their life. They have nothing to compare it to. I would say that's a pretty good conversation. Maybe you don't even need to talk. But something is coming soon. Maybe this is even a reason for you to get your battery, you know, back to full. Start to fill up your own plate. Start to take care of yourself. You got a little love coming on in here. I also see that this could be a connection that some of you have where that alone kind of puts a pep in your step. For some of you, this could be somebody you meet very soon, and it might change a lot in your life or this other person's life. I feel like if it has anything to do with schedule, even if somebody has a tight schedule, I see somebody suddenly, something's not so important because they get to hang out with you. So I feel like somebody was putting a lot of importance on something that maybe wasn't that necessary and could have been adjusted the whole time. Maybe you were the beautiful little muse and influence in someone's life to make those adjustments to, you know, chillax them out a little bit, de-stress their life. But that could be the other way for some of you. Interesting. Wow. Yeah. I mean, if somebody never got to feel love this true and real before, and now they're thinking of evs with you, that's really big. I don't know what's happening, guys, or if this is new, or if this is something you are thinking about. But if also some of you have somebody in your life that is making a lot of stressful adjustments or changes because they met you, they see a forever with you, that could be stressful. Maybe that gives you a little clarity on somebody's situation. Changes aren't always easy, especially when they come unpredictable in your life. So maybe somebody's kind of unpredictable. Maybe that's why you have to have maybe some like good, hard, awesome, light conversations. I feel like it should go all over the place. But I'm seeing something different now. This says a love call or a text is coming soon. But with this energy here and why aren't you there, I kind of feel like maybe it's at least a call. I don't feel like it's, maybe it starts with texting somebody, but I kind of feel like it needs to at least go to a convo, hear somebody's voice, because you need to hear that person's inflections. You know, the energy behind their voice, the sound of their laugh. But I feel like it has to go bigger than that. I actually feel like you have to be in somebody's space and see their body language. So maybe a video call is a little better. You can at least see their body language. Because I kind of feel like text might misconstrue something and maybe even make a situation stressful due to misunderstandings or not reading something how it was supposed to come through, how it was intended. You know, if somebody was trying to be funny and it came across as sarcastic, that might come through weird. So if you can video call or whatever, at least do that if you're a long distance. But I feel like this needs to bring you together, so you feel the other you feel the other person. Somebody wants to be with you forever, then there's a lot of planning involved, a lot of conversations, a lot of experiences that need to happen. So let's get you another message. I feel like that's the stress. You have that, you have the energy. This for me is kind of like the upside down Queen of Wands, sort of. It's somebody that requires a lot of attention, that feels like they are more important by seeing somebody stressed out over them, or by seeing how somebody will work really hard just for them. That makes them feel more important. This is somebody kind of on their high horse, somebody that needs a lot of verification that they are important, a lot of compliments so they feel better, but they're always trying to fill in some kind of hollow void of not feeling confident with all of those green M&Ms. You know, this is somebody who doesn't have true appreciation of I'm getting even a value or how hard somebody had to work. This is somebody that wants to see somebody work extra hard because it makes them feel special. So I'm not sure what that is. We're going to put that over there for now. I don't see that as this situation. Maybe that's just somebody, you know, they're kind of that too much energy. They need a lot of attention. So maybe that's why somebody's stressed out. Maybe that's just somebody's past situation and that's giving you a little clarity on why you are so different. 10,534 green M&Ms, please. I would like them, you know, bagged up, bow-tied, and placed in my dressing room, and then I will perform for you. So, let's get another message. I just said something about performing. I feel like this is a different kind of spotlight. I feel like your spotlight is spiritual. This might also be shining a spotlight on the differences in different energies. It could be shining a spotlight on maybe a beautiful connection you have coming in. It could also be shining a spotlight on being around the right crowds or the right support and or people that crowd you and crowd your energy and stress you out. And maybe some of you are just taking that leap of faith and diving on into that vast universe of you don't know what's there, but it has to be better than that weird crowd. But it could also be the right support around you in a transition that wants to see you succeed, that recognizes how you shine different. It's like ethereal energy is beaming off of you. It's like you are the spotlight in that card, but I do feel like there's a portal here. I feel like there is something you need to go into that is kind of unknown and have a beautiful, enthusiastic trust and faith. Maybe it's you going into a new cycle, and for some of you, maybe you have no idea. You have your forever person waiting in the abyss there for you. It could also be somebody that's taking a leap of faith towards you. All right, let's see. What else? Many different messages today. Well, that's good. Good to know you passed the test. Maybe somebody was kind of testing you. Maybe somebody thought you would be this M&M person over here, and they never really experienced somebody that wasn't really like wanting anything other than your time or that person's time. Like to just be in somebody's energy, feel the vibes, have a good time. I feel like it was kind of simple. Maybe somebody made it way more complicated. They were used to stress. They were used to drama. They were used to complications. So they assumed you had to be the same as everything else they'd known because that's the way it is. But maybe it's not at all. So, I mean, it's kind of weird if somebody put you like in a test. But, I mean, you passed with flying colors at a spiritual spotlight. So that's good. Also, maybe some of you, extra message, have the spotlight on something that you are graduating from because maybe it was a stressful class or cycle or something like that, and getting through something. You learned a lot. You're ready for something new. I keep hearing like the unknown. So I feel like there is something you aren't aware of, or you're not exactly sure. You haven't gotten the map. You just have that portal. You have that step. You have that knowingness that it's that direction, not that direction. So interesting energies today. All right, let's maybe get one more. Let's see. What is one more message from the mystery deck to be helpful today for the collective, please and thank you. Time to get to work, or somebody's at work. Maybe you passed the test. Maybe if you haven't heard from somebody, it's because they are working on something that at work thing always kind of comes through in that other deck when somebody is like trying to bury themselves in work to forget about you. Maybe that's not working, but it could, I'm kind of getting that somebody could be working towards that future too. You could also meet somebody at work, or there could be somebody at work that becomes that love call. I guess that's the same thing. There could also be somebody you want to get to work with because maybe you work on a side project that is now becoming a focus in your life. You've always wanted to start, but maybe that person is a good partner for you if it has to do with business. I guess we're getting one more. If you get a love call, maybe you have to, maybe somebody's going to answer. You know, maybe it was that left on red, the ... It looks like somebody's going to answer now, or somebody knows that it's time to answer. I'm also seeing with this past test, I kind of feel like it might have been a karmic cycle or a big spiritual lesson too, that maybe somebody had to go through. That could be you too. But once you have that awareness, that self-reflection of something you don't want to do anymore, something that has to be done different in the next cycle, you did pass the test. You did spiritually elevate into the next class or skip a couple grades ahead. And that's a really good place, rather than repeating something you're mindlessly doing like a robot over and over and doing what you are used to. I don't know why I did robot voice. But now it's not a robot voice. This is an aliveness. It's a thriving. It's a knowing. It's a calling, and you're hearing it. So maybe you're answering that divine call. Maybe this has to do with the spiritual path, spiritual purpose, destiny. Maybe it's time to get to work on that. That's going to bring you beautiful blessings, abundance, security, beautiful support, open doors. If you're on your spiritual path, you are going to be provided for. You are going to be handed gift after gift after gift, and you're going to say, thank you. Thank you for all these blessings. Whether even that it's a tough lesson, or, you know, that leap of faith in the beautiful, smooth, like butter, easy road ahead. Let's get a message from the universe after that. Oh, what are you doing? Are you looking for a spot to hide the bone? Are you on a mission? Rose is on a mission. Let's get a message from the universe. What is a message that would be helpful right now to hear? Please and thank you. Oh, that one. Don't lose sight of this truth. It's exactly what I said. Whatever you pass the test with, it's bigger than just passing a test, passing the exam, or somebody testing you. This is you here. Don't lose sight of this truth. You came here to evolve and grow. So it's necessary to experience some difficult times, because that's when you grow the most. That's when you get to skip to a totally different timeline. A whole different cycle in your life. And you don't have to fall back behind, because you've gained that perspective. You've had that experience. You can see something, coming a mile away when it looks like a weird energy over there. You can also handle weird energies in a totally different way through a spiritual perspective, if need be. Because I feel like this is an energy you might be able to kind of flip around almost through inspiration in a different way. I kind of feel like you're even going to maybe shine a light on somebody that forgot that they had their own glow. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel. You do have not just a tunnel, but a whole universe there, but the light is on you right now. That's a big message. I wasn't going to do any love cards because I didn't think this was a love message or a love reading today, but you got some big love messages. So I'm going to go to the Divine Truth and maybe just pull a card or two and see what comes through to be helpful, and then we will go to the tarot. So what are maybe one or two prominent messages from the Divine Truth that would help the collective right now when it comes to love, what they are thinking, or maybe something they need to know about love coming in? Let's do one from each, because this is a very big deck of cards to hold. So what would be helpful to know? Please and thank you. That you are the missing piece. That's a big one. You fit somebody just right. These two people are jumping for joy, doing like they're like a, you know, they're trying to do a candid shot, but they're like, okay, ready, 1, 2, 3, jump. Oh, we got it, we got it. We look like we're in the air. We look like we're flying. Maybe somebody does something cool with photography, but somebody didn't even know they were missing something, but you fit somebody just right. You're my missing puzzle piece. We were made for one another. I also see that maybe besides, like, it's almost like you actually were cut from the same piece of wood. It's like cut from the same cloth. You make this bigger, beautiful whole shape together, but you're each also beautiful and whole on your own, like unique on your own. There's just something about your connection with another person where, I don't know, you put your heads together, you put your hearts together, and the possibilities are even more unique because I feel like you each have a unique perception, opinion, and or background. You actually see something with such a different perspective that I kind of feel like it's growth here because you have all of this growth. So even with this, somebody might have a lot of skills, you know, that aren't really your thing. You don't really even want to learn, but maybe kind of come together and make something work out more well-rounded. And you have something they kind of don't have. But I also feel like that's spiritual lessons. I don't feel like this is a cookie cutter exactly mirroring situation. I kind of feel like it's totally different experiences that for some reason are even bigger together. I don't know, I see somebody, like, let's say they're really creative, really spontaneous, thinking outside the box, but then they never, like, get to work with something because they're kind of wishy-washy all over the place and kind of start the plans, but then, you know, have their hands in different things. And then there's somebody that maybe can be creative, but they have a very logical approach. Maybe they're not so spontaneous. Maybe they like to plan everything out. But let's say you go out and it rains and you have to throw those plans out the window, and the spontaneous one is going to think of the answer right away. Let's do this. But I feel like that other person has something beneficial for, you know, the one that's kind of all over the place to really get something secure and going and grounded. And I hear like flying or flourishing. I also hear there's something freeing. Freedom, free time, and refreshing. Did that one thing say something about refreshing? Revive. So let's see, one more. Please and thank you. There's one more message. Oh, that's really sad. So somebody's heartbroken. Maybe they felt like something was missing. Maybe you felt heartbreak. Maybe you thought you'd never open up again to somebody else, but maybe the right person comes in. Maybe somebody was heartbroken by somebody that was wanting it all but not giving like not really giving back. The wrong choice was made. And now somebody sits in the pain of losing you. So maybe this is what somebody else is asking themselves. This is not everybody's story, but for some of you, this is somebody that let you go. This is somebody you already met, you already had a connection with. And maybe that's what I saw before, where somebody got to work, make themselves busy, but maybe that spotlight doesn't ever go away from you, or that spotlight is shining on something not as true. And you know, this is where somebody wants to open up. They know they made a wrong choice. They're thinking about forever with you. Maybe they feel bad that they made you pass some weird test. And maybe they're recognizing that they were comparing like apples to oranges. It's just not the same thing. You know, I see with this puzzle piece, you know, trying to put the wrong size peg into the wrong size hole. Just something wasn't a match. That happens too with relationships. Sometimes you think it's a match at the beginning, but maybe the deeper you go through it, it doesn't quite match. It's unrequited love. It could also be where somebody grew out of a situation where maybe it was a perfect match, but we have huge cycles in life. And sometimes people grow together, and sometimes people grow apart, and sometimes people both grow up, are in parallel lines, but not with each other. There is a song by, oh, I just got two Joss Stone. There's a Joss Stone song called Parallel Lines, and I can't think of how it goes. But she has another one where it's, you've got, I think it's called 4 and 20. Hours to something about like needing an answer, or you know, she's moving along. I kind of want to hear it now. It's a really sassy song. I really like Joss Stone. Ooh, I just whacked my elbow. So let's go to the tarot. I don't know which one I want to use now. I don't feel like the one I brought is appropriate for this reading. I have the tiny one. Maybe we'll do the tiny tarot. We'll go tiny at the end of the reading. Get some tiny messages. These are interesting because they do have a different perspective. I am seeing this a different way too. Maybe some of you are the one that's going through the heartbreak because you feel like you made the wrong choice. Or you put work into someone you don't really feel that connected to. You can't really see if Ev's here, but you know, it was a cycle. What did you learn through that? And maybe some of you learned through this heartbreak that you don't really want this love stuff. I know not all of you are in the same place. So if that's not your message, it's not your message, it's somebody else's. But for some of you, you got to discover via heartbreak or, you know, past situations that, you know, I kept seeing that freedom energy, that's more valuable to you. You don't want somebody stressing you out over here, always worried about what someone's feeling, what someone's doing, having to get somebody else's opinion. You want something simple. You know who you are, or you get to be independent and learn who you are, what's good for you, what works for you. You choose the people around you you vibe with, and you know, you're working on wonderful things in your life that are giving you a real sense of positive pride, where you feel really good. That's also a blessing. Not everybody's path is, you know, towards a forever person. But sometimes it falls in your life, you don't expect it to. So let's see. What are some messages? These are so tiny. I feel like my hands are so big. What is a message that would be helpful for the collective today? Please and thank you. Oh, you got the Empress. Beautiful. So you have this Empress sitting there. I do feel like there's maybe children or a project that you're working on. You are sitting as an Empress. I think I have to go like this. Behind the Empress, you do have something you're taking care of, but the Empress is looking at that windy road out there beyond the gate. The gate is open. And the Empress has this beautiful allowance. She knows she's the divine feminine. She knows what she deserves. She knows the truth of her soul. She knows how much love she has to give. Maybe whoever this is never met, like, an Empress, which is tapping into that spiritual side with everything. The Empress wants to be with someone who is an emperor, no less than. But the Empress has to take care of herself. She can't give from an empty plate. She can manifest, though. She can work. Where's your work card? The Empress can run her own kingdom. She's also, I always see the Empress as an amazing multitasker. She can have the baby in her arm, be on the phone over here, typing something up on the computer, got her toes, soaking in the salt bath over there, and the laundry's over there, and the cake is in the oven, all at the same time. She's pretty amazing. So she can handle a lot. But even the Empress can experience heartbreak, because she's had experiences. She's had many cycles. She's not someone that has immaturity about a situation. Let's see. Let's clarify the Empress. You got the Chariot. This is a really interesting Chariot card. You actually have a Chariot here that is moving. And you have two people behind you that are like stuck on your Chariot. I feel like whatever was attached and going in I'm kind of getting like reverse Emperor here. Because I feel like whoever is actually driving this Chariot is going in the wrong direction. They're around a crowd that is cheering for them. But I feel like there's these two people behind. Like they are being pulled in the direction that is not of their choosing. This is a really weird card. I forgot how weird these are. It's like they're forced to go in a certain direction that's not for them, but yet they're different, and yet they match. They have a meeting of the minds. I feel like it's not going in the direction everyone tells you have to go. I feel like it's not where you're finding this weird, pull that's not something you're agreeing to. I feel like it's the victory here is releasing yourself and going in your own direction. I'm kind of getting Bonnie and Clyde energy with that. I also feel like this Empress needs to open the gate if she felt kind of caged into a certain situation. Maybe go out there and explore a little bit, see what's beyond that windy road. There's a beautiful like swan here. Usually the Chariot is victory. It's really beautiful, but this is giving you a different perception on a victorious situation. Maybe the victory is a release. The victory is almost like the freedom. The release, because this is the spiritual path. So different. I don't think I've ever seen that on that card before. Upside down, it's letting your I guess, letting people steer you in a direction you don't want to go, but maybe that was even divine. Maybe somebody was being pulled in a direction they didn't want to go, but maybe they didn't know they'd meet that person that they connected with in that weird situation. When you least expect it, you found the right person that would support you to the end, that would figure out any weird situation with you. I would say you need to find your own chariot. It's probably much better than that one. So let's see. Clarify. I mean, those are both big. The Empress and 7, the Chariot, 3, 7. Those are big energies. This is a big change, but this is getting on the right path here. But I feel like you had to almost be in a situation where you're in the wrong direction to find that right path. The King of Swords. So you have an air sign here. Maybe that's who's thinking about you or you are thinking about. This is somebody who wants to speak their truth. Somebody who knows clearly what they want to decide. They want to have an open mind because that's how they make a proper decision. I do feel like this king needs to, it's like they need to speak to whoever is right there in front of them. See everybody's side, but sit firmly on their throne of what they know. If the King of Swords is upside down, he can be really cold. He can be really hurtful with his words. He can even be wishy-washy and kind of all over the place and always make a different decision depending on whose opinion he's talking to. I kind of see like he'll tell one person one thing and that's the truth with that person, but then another person kind of steers him in a different direction. He doesn't tell the first person he changed his mind and now it's a different direction. So that situation just kind of gets more and more confusing, but that's when he's kind of being a small-minded, closed off, or sometimes talking over someone to the point where he hears no other opinions. But it could be where he's so concerned about everybody else's thoughts, he forgets to address his own or her own, but it's a masculine energy. So let's just clarify that King of Swords, please. Well, you're going to victory, so this is good. This looked like the victory, but I feel like that was the pit stop. That was that weird situation that you didn't feel blessed to be in. Even maybe the heartbreak that got you on a different path to get you where you're supposed to be, to where it's your own victorious path. And now you got victory times 2, but here you have that dove of peace. Here you have the olive branch. Here you have people cheering for you, not cheering for some other direction that you never asked to go in. Here you're up there on that horse, elevated, but this is somebody that knows how to get off and have thankfulness to all the people that supported them towards their dream, towards their goal, towards this victory. It also means that you didn't have that victory easy. You had to train for it. You had to go through stuff to win that game. If this is somebody upside down, it could be someone who's so up there on their high horse and their victory and their power parade that, you know, they never mix and mingle with that crowd. They're not in the energy of gratitude. What's at the bottom? Oh, you have strength at the bottom. You're going to be fine. Whatever this is brought you strength. Whatever it is somebody else went through, maybe brought them mental clarity, a purposeful direction, working with energies, not guiding them off course, but wanting to see them succeed. The Empress is just the one that is the forever. You know, it's that lover, neighbor, mother, grandmother, boss, whatever she wants to be. The Empress is like Mother Nature. She births. That's huge. But when you give birth to a project, you know, to an idea, to a new, you know, it could be a child, but it's there through that whole process of something's development and growth, and also having that freedom, you know, because I always see the kids as eventually going off to college, going off to camp, you know, hope I did a good job. You want to come back for Thanksgiving dinner? You know where I am. I'm going to bake you some cookies, but I hope you come back more. But it's just trusting that in the end, whatever she is working on, especially if it's with a person, they have their own soul, their own direction, their own goals, their own journey to live. And you just have to have faith that there is that trust. And I don't know why I see her as having a second chance. But that second chance can come anywhere along that path. If this is a project, it gets to the point where you think of something, you incubate it, you start something that's a little rough, you know, you're not sleeping at night, you're a little stressed out that your project's not going, it's not really growing. Then it starts to flow, you know, you keep up with it, you're there every day or when you need to be, and eventually that project starts to work itself out, you know. The right helpful people come in, the right customers come in, things start selling, whatever it is you're working on, and you know, you can give something a little less attention. You go through, you know, the humps and the training and the mess ups, and you learn from it all. But if this, let's say the Empress has, I just see her running a company. You don't want, or, you know, you don't want to get on the computer, you hire someone to do something on the computer, and she jumps in and she's like, no, it has to be like this. And now you're doing 5 jobs. No wonder you're all stressed out. Sometimes even if somebody doesn't do it perfectly, let them do it, correct them later, but let somebody learn so you have more free time and you have that right allowance for something to actually grow. You can't always just do everything yourself and do your kids' homework. That doesn't really help them when they're going off to college. So with strength, it is a Leo energy. I want to look at this up close. Hold on. Actually, this is really good for me to see. She's sticking her hand right in the lion's mouth. That's a lot of trust. What's up there in the clouds? What's up there? Something stoic and statue. She looks so gentle. There's also, I will say, there's a little snake in the grass here. So maybe it's mowing the lawn. You know, or keeping the lawn short. So something can't sneak up on you. But it's also giving me that, is it like the Divine Mother and she's stepping on the snake? Like, I don't feel like any snake energy can bother the Strength card, or is going to bother that lion. I feel like if something came after, because usually this is the Empress. If something bothers that Empress, that lion's going to take care of that situation. I feel like there's protecting here. But it's where this lion, as sweet as that woman looks, also feels safe and protected in a totally different way, in a gentle approach, honey on the wound, by that Empress or by this woman. And I always see that, like, that sometimes doesn't happen right away. You know, maybe the first time she left the gate here, she went out and saw a lion out there. She's like, ooh, that's the lion. I didn't bring my steak today. I'm going to come back tomorrow. Down, kitty, kitty. Down, kitty, kitty. Going out. I'm going to bring back a steak tomorrow. And, you know, that lion kind of recognized that girl's back. Like, ooh, what's that they brought? Maybe she's not so bad. You know, and then maybe there was a slow trusting that happened. It could also be where, you know, this Empress or this woman was with that lion from the time they were a cub, and they know they can trust this person. That when they shove their hand in their mouth, they're just checking their teeth. They're not hurting you. So it just depends on the situation, but this is inner strength, not pushy power. Not somebody having to prove how strong they are by being the loudest one in the room, or by yelling the loudest, or making the biggest ruckus. Usually it's a quiet power that shows that inner strength as being more dominant than someone that presses somebody to do something. It takes them in a direction they didn't really want to go. So I'm not really sure what came through in this reading. I feel like it definitely was all over the place. I just hope it was helpful. I hope something came through. It doesn't have to be the whole message, but something came through that made sense to you, or gave you a little awareness. And with this, I bid you adieu. Thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And I love you very much. I'll see you soon. I bid you adieu. Bye.